So I'm a big fan of this guy, and he made this, this, and this. And now with his new independent team, Bokeh Game Studio, he made this. So let's talk about it. From the moment the game begins, we are thrown into the dreamy world of the Kowloon walled city, based on the real city demolished in the early 90s, getting a chance to see the nightlife and really get a feel for the place, almost looking like something out of a Wong Kar-wai film. We see a variety of characters, and before we can find out anything about them, something is hiding in the alleys of the walled city. Something mysterious. We see the remains of a victim looking like something from the pages of a Junji Ito manga. And before we can even wrap our heads around this horrific sight, the title of the game appears, and Slitterhead begins. Now, you might have some questions. Who are we going to play as? What did this? And is that the former Queen of England? But for now, we are a dog. That's pretty cool, man. But alas, this game is no dog simulator, as we quickly discover that we have the ability to body hop, as we are actually this floating spirit thing. Maybe a ghost or alien, we are unsure, as we have a serious case of the amnesia. As we awkwardly hobble around the back streets, we come across our first enemy. Now surely in this moment we will learn how to defend ourselves. This is a video game after all, and there must be a pipe or something. Well, that went well. Luckily we are able to body hop our way to safety and escape the monster. And from this moment of the game, it is showing you that you can't rely on sticking with one body. We must hop around in order to survive. As soon as you realize that this game treats the human body like the useless sack of meat that it is. The whole game is built around this mechanic, as you won't just use it in combat, but also as a means of transportation, which leads to one of the most demented moments early on that shows you just how brutal this world is.
And look, that's the person we were playing as, and they just fell over. They just fell over. They fucking died. They're dead now. We controlled them and died.
But now something else has happened. A presence in the air, pulling us towards it. We see someone in trouble and are able to follow this presence as best we can, with the ability to... What? Oh, we can just fucking sidetrack in this game? This is a fucking siren game? At the end of this road, we get to see the true terror of the Slitterhead. Grotesque and imposing, and able to deal with swaths of humans with one strike. We might be able to avoid Slitterheads of this size, but we can't actually do any serious damage to them. That's until we find Julie. For some reason, Julie is different from every other person we have taken control of. She is much stronger and is able to take more damage, and has the ability to turn her blood into weapons, like these blood claws. We are also able to communicate with her and have our first real conversation, to try and understand what is going on. She gives us the name Night Owl, and all we know is that we want to kill all the Slitterheads. That is our mission. From here, Night Owl and Julie explore the underbelly of the city, sneaking into nightclubs and gang hideouts to discover that the Slitterheads have taken over the entire crime syndicate of the walled city, hiding in plain sight. Once the Slitterheads are able to feed, they will, and oh no, that's... oh.
They sucked his brains out.
Now, even though Julie has these special abilities, we are still outnumbered. It feels like an impossible task to try and kill all the Slitterheads. No matter how many we deal with, more will take their place, in a never-ending loop. That's right, gamers. Slitterhead is a part of my favorite genre,
Do you fellas like your 3-day time loop games? Because I do!
With this new ability to hop through time, Night Owl and Julie are able to take a different approach, learn new information about the Slitterheads, and maybe even get some help. On the radio we hear about a vigilante, a rider in black, who seemingly knows about the creatures we fight and has been seen in Slitterhead hotspots. Before we can get to him, he is seriously injured, but something feels familiar. Just like when Julie was moments from death, we hop into this vigilante and awaken his powers. He is an absolute unit and is able to pull enemies into a whirlpool and use his shotgun to take them out. The vigilante's name is Alex, who is on a quest for vengeance after the Slitterheads killed his sister, and now at night roams the streets, looking like the Night Watcher from 2007's TMNT.
If you got that reference, you certainly got that reference.
The only thing grounding Alex is his assistant, Lisa, a nurse who works at his clinic and really keeps him in check. And considering this is a Toyama game, I'm sure this character with that name and that profession will be fine. From here, Night Owl's on the search for more beings with abilities like Julie and Alex, and we call them rarities, each having a different power that makes them feel unique from one another. Overall, we have a very diverse group of characters, like Anita, a call girl who has the ability to poison any creature that gets in our way. Edo, former boxer, now drunk homeless man that absolutely wrecks anything in his path. Tree, a housekeeper who, aside from telling us about some cool recipes that sound really delicious, you must beware of her bloody oven mitts. Seriously, she has bloody oven mitts. Donnie, a high school student that truly shows that the pen may be mightier than the sword. Also, he can be seen playing a legally distinct handheld gaming device, and I'm going to choose to believe that he is playing Gravity Rush.
I'm just trying to will it into existence at this point.
Blake, a member of the Special Forces unit with the goal to fight Slitterheads, and I think he's Australian and owns a gun? Once you have acquired each rarity, you can pick 2 to use in any mission, and considering the time loop nature of the game, it adds some variety to the levels you may have to replay. If you can clear out enough levels and go off the beaten path, you'll be rewarded with additional costumes, unlocking extra abilities, and yes, you do get to play as the Queen of England.
Okay, hear me out. So they let us play as the Queen, but we need to make it modern. So what if we made it King Charles DLC? Wouldn't that be fucking great?
Now we have a team of rarities at the ready, we are really able to make progress on tracking down the Slitterheads, each level finding out more and more about how they operate and bring them to the surface, usually resulting in a cool chase sequence through the claustrophobic alleys, jumping along the neon-lit street signs, and ending in a cool boss fight, and I think it's done in a really fun way. But it isn't as simple as it appears. These aren't just mindless creatures. We find a group of Slitterheads hiding in secrecy that actually don't want to hurt anyone. They're just trying to live peacefully and in conjunction with some human volunteers. This doesn't sit well with the other group of Slitterheads that view humans as nothing more than food, and then there's a Special Forces unit that's just shooting anyone remotely involved in the situation. And look, maybe this is a hot take, but the big G is kind of bad, you know what I'm saying? This leads to Night Owl having some conflicting thoughts. The only thing they remember is they must eliminate all Slitterheads. That is the mission. We have Slitterheads murdering hundreds of innocent people, and rightfully we want to end the suffering. But after seeing a genuine connection between a Slitterhead and a human, maybe they can live harmoniously. Maybe we have the wrong idea. Maybe we have wrongfully gone on this mission, assuming all Slitterheads are evil. Is it just the wrong way to think about things? Unfortunately, this line of thinking starts to cause a fracture between some of the rarities. So in the menu, aside from being able to upgrade your characters, you are able to have conversations with all of them. Clearly the game couldn't afford voice actors, so they show dialogue in this cool as fuck dreamy imagery, and it's just beautiful. Now let's take Julie. Kind and empathetic, and from the beginning hasn't agreed with Night Owl's sentiments, always chiming in that there must be a better way, but reluctantly going along with the plan. But over time, she is able to get to Night Owl, showing that there is more to this world than just eliminating those that we hate. And considering that Julie is the first person Night Owl connected with, she does have a major influence on them, more than most of the other rarities. I say most because Alex is a completely different story. Driven by rage and anger, Alex has an obsession with one Slitterhead in particular, revisiting the event over and over again. Something about it compels him. Maybe due to losing his sister, he feels like killing the Slitterhead can fill the void, but it doesn't. Alex starts murdering this innocent Slitterhead child over and over again, and Alex, what the fuck is going on? I just want to say, I think using replayability for a character's motivation is a fucking inspired choice, and it's really fucking cool that the game does that, and I'm sure there won't be any other shenanigans in the game. back to the video. From here, Night Owl, Julie and Alex have to work out their differences and try and solve the Slitterhead mystery and stop this cycle of violence. Wait, what happened to Julie? Well, Night Owl and Alex and the rest of the team have to solve the mystery and stop the— oh god. Well, Alex is now able to keep killing, and what the fuck is going on? This is the part of the video where I stop talking about Slitterhead. If anything in this video seems interesting, or you enjoy the works of these developers, I'd highly recommend checking it out. But for now, I want to talk about the people behind this game and their story. Bokeh Game Studio is composed of Keiichiro Toyama and a number of ex-Sony developers. He left Japan Studio during the pandemic to go completely independent. Over on their YouTube channel, they have been chronicling the development of Slitterhead, showing the perspectives of the director, producer, concept artists, game designers, and even the composer, Akira Yamaoka, making this his and Toyama's first collaboration in 25 years, since the original Silent Hill. And while I'm talking about it, I think the music of this game is incredible. Definitely Yamaoka's best work since the original 4 Silent Hill games, and it's just fucking weird. They have another series called Golden Hour, in which Toyama sits down with fellow directors and writers to discuss their process over a couple of beers, featuring long conversations with horror manga legend Junji Ito, Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma director Hideaki Itsuno, and the creator of Resident Evil Shinji Mikami. Seeing the two fathers of the survival horror genre sit down and discuss the origins of it all, it's truly insightful, and I'm glad it exists. This whole side of Bokeh really feels like they are letting us hear their hopes and fears. Maybe all this work will be for nothing if they can't find an audience. Shuhei Yoshida, former executive of Sony, said that in Toyama's final 3 years with the company, he was constantly pitching new ideas, but none of them would get approved. Sony wanting the teams to make AAA games with live service components, and we all know how that panned out.
They're concording again? What the fuck?
Toyama, disagreeing with these ideas, decided to take a risk in forming Bokeh Studio. The term Bokeh is derived from a style of photography, referring to the blur or haze within an image. Initially, these photos were seen as failures, but after some time, they have now been re-examined, with the general sentiment of finding beauty in imperfection. And I find this very similar to the games of Toyama. Outside of Silent Hill, his games have initially struggled to find a wide audience, often considered a little rough around the edges. But over time, they have been reassessed and seen as the truly unique games that they are, and it's why I love them. My last couple of videos, I've been lamenting the loss of Sony's Japan Studios, a team that has made some incredibly unique games and ultimately doesn't exist anymore. And honestly, I don't think we're ever going to see anything like it again. But that's okay. Japan Studio is just a name. The thing that made it really special was the people behind it. Artists wanting to express something and being given the opportunities to do it. And with the current state of the industry, it's easy to be pessimistic. But looking at the indie scene, you are going to find the same passion and energy from those games back in the day. And considering that this weird game can exist fully independently and have the same feeling as a Japan Studios game, it really makes me feel like video games are going to be okay. When I see the headlines, Slitterhead will be considered a cult classic 10 years from now, I hope Bokeh will still be here making these incredibly unique games. So yeah, if anything about this game has interested you, go check it out. There's a demo on everything, and by the way, I'm not sponsored. I mean, look at my subscriber count, guys. By the way, when I wrote this joke, I didn't have 100 subscribers, so thanks to everyone who subscribed. It means a lot, and yeah. I'm gonna end the video now.